Greetings, Dr. Joseph Martin here again for you and with you. The topic today is making money through soul gold alchemy. Now, who among us doesn't like to make money? So I think this could be an important one for us. So listen up. Now, here's a CD that I did actually in 1996. That's just a few years ago, called Making Money Through Soul Gold Alchemy, in which I have a partial description of it. And it's a meditation that you would do at home while you're relaxed with original music by a friend of mine and I about how to make money and realize that it's an inner soul gold process. Anyways, more of that at the end about how you can purchase one of those. So we're going to be looking at this whole topic from a philosophical point of view, a linguistic point of view. As you know, I love etymology from a psychological point of view, the conscious and the unconscious sides of money, and also historical point of view and a socioeconomic point of view as well over the last few centuries. Well, let's start with a quote from Henry Ford. Many of you still drive Ford's cars. He started the Model T Ford over 100 years ago now, and so many people in the capitalistic system and world look to Henry Ford as one of the great and earliest and first entrepreneurs of how to make money. Here's a quote from Henry Ford. I am not interested in money, but in the things of which money is the symbol. And that sets us up actually for everything we're going to talk about here together now today. So money is simply a symbol for other things. It's a symbol of gold. It's the highest form of money because, of course, today paper money in any national bank is becoming more and more worthless. The only thing that has of any value is gold, and of course many people around the world, both individuals and nations and banks, are stockpiling gold as the one thing of greatest value. What does the word gold mean? Where does it come from? The etymology of the word gold is a pre-Germanic term, gut, and in Middle Dutch it's gut as well, G-O-U-T, which of course everyone would think that money is and gold is good to have. It also means, though, if we go back earlier in about 800 years ago, the word good means to shine. And gold is something that is shiny, of course, and even when we use gold stars or gold medals at the Olympics, it's the person who shines the most is the one who gets the gold Olympic medal. Gold, however, as one form of money, is something that's a symbol for the soul. The soul is made of pure gold, meaning if we say someone has a heart of gold, that's a good Neil Young song. We say that the person, their soul, is the most kind, most beneficent, most respectful, most unconditionally loving person, and we say they have a heart of gold. So gold means, in a spiritual and a metaphysical way, something that's pure, something that's refined, something that's been through the fires of suffering and pain, and through that pain has learned to release the ego and let the higher divine soul shine. So that may be something that we want to think about because, making life a process of alchemizing your soul and your ego and making the two burnish and in the fire of everyday common experiences and relationships, both personal and business and family, will give you the opportunity to alchemize your soul and really find out what's the highest value for yourself. The whole point of this is that the inner process of hard work, of finding your soul and putting it in the fires of refinement, which is our life experience, will bring you to the highest value of what your soul and your soul gold can be for yourself. So the process of anyone's life is to purify and discover thereby the inner value of your soul. Gold now, we would say again, is the highest human value known to people. Everyone wants to have it or hoard it. Sometimes it means the highest potential, the highest freedom even, and the highest sense of worth. So people want gold or money thinking it's going to give them the freedom and the happiness that they deserve and they're looking for. And I'm going to now just shift to the socioeconomic and historical perspective to show that over the last 300 years of industrialization, capitalization, and the use of the capitalist economic system, people have been in vain searching for happiness outside themselves. And I don't just mean searching for material goods to make them happy. It's more than that. Because people seem to be yet unable and unconscious around finding all the self-worth and self-value deep inside themselves, in their heart and in their soul, they've been looking for it outside and hereby thinking that they will acquire that. The people who have so much seem to be sometimes the most unhappy and the most unhealthy as well. It's led to the point now where we have massive personal debt, individually, nationally, in all the nations of the world, including the First Nations, meaning the nations of the First World. But yes, the First Nations are impoverished as well, the indigenous peoples, to the point now where the majority, maybe 75% of the people in the modern world and all nations now have maxed out their credit cards and their lines of credit and are suffering from debt to the point where they can't pay their monthly bills or rent or mortgages. This is a symptom. This individual and trillions of dollars of collective debt, let's say of America or in other nations in Europe, is a symptom of soul on ice, a disrepute of the spirituality of the soul and the need to find the soul, the essential part of being human. And it's led to an outer search that's gone awry, and it's gone over the cliff, so to speak, not just the fiscal cliff, but the freedom cliff and over the soul cliff, to the point where people find a struggle, not only in their monetary sense, but in their soul, to find any worth or value. So much depression. Now, we'll go into that in another time, but I just want to focus here and say that the whole notion of money goes back to the Roman times of Juno, the Roman goddess, I should say. She has a strong masculine side, though, of the state. She was the queen of the earth. She was one of the tripartite queens of Rome. And she was the mother of Mars and Vulcan. So this being Mother's Day coming up this Sunday, on May the 11th around the world, and blessed be all the mothers of the world, because being a mother means that you have indomitable love and compassion and caring and sharing and unselfish giving always to your own children. And this is the basis, the true basis of money, because Juno is the mother of all mothers in the Roman pantheon and in Greek Hera. And she represents the divine feminine, the giving quality of money and sharing, which is something that's gone quite awry in our society today, and I'll get to that in a moment. Being the mother of Mars, Mars is the one who's the warrior, the steadfast one to look after all the people and to care for all the people. And that's the true nature of Mars, the warrior. It's the unselfish warrior who can care for his mother, his family, his children, and his colleagues and his community. And Juno is also the mother of Vulcan. And Vulcan is the man at the forge, if you like, who is always using the alchemizing fires of the burnishing of the lower metals, such as lead, and this is the history of alchemy now, all the way up to gold and the Philosopher's Stone. So it, Vulcan then represents that inner search, that inner need to take all the garbage and all the shit that's inside you, and all the lead and all the poison, the toxicity and the shame and the blame and the insecurities and the inferiorities that you're feeling. And through the fire of experience and through the fire of your soul and the process of becoming conscious and leaving the unconscious, you can transform and transmute and alchemize all that painful shaming and suffering around issues of self-worth and come to that place of an indomitable, unconditionally loving sense of just divine self-worth and self-confidence. That is the true heart of gold that you are without knowing it, and now can consciously seek and become as you transform all your experiences in your life. This is the true meaning of the gold, and also the true mothering principle that we're moving into in this time. Whether you're a man or a woman, gay or straight, or whatever religion or culture you are, it is necessary now to have that feminine, earthy, new quality of sharing and caring coalesced in a balanced and harmonious way with the deep earth masculine in order to bring the money back into, or the gold and the light and the shininess and the brightness of the getting through your depressions, brightening the soul and the light and shining up your heart and your gold in your heart, so that you will once again find all the value and all the worth of who you are and learn to be the love you are, because that's your truest and highest nature. It may be mostly unconscious for most of you listening, but in essence, that's who you are. You are pure gold. You are pure soul in spirit and in source. Now, this is the time of the great tipping point and the great turning point on planet Earth, when we're all becoming more conscious, even super conscious of our divine humanity. And we're moving away from the whole power and issues around money that have become part of the elite on the planet, where through insecurity and selfishness and so on, they have taken the gold, they've taken our freedom, they've taken away our rights. And what they've done is enslaved us to a common debt, a debt to money, to credit cards, and to all kinds of prisons of the mind and of the feelings, to the point where many people are suicidally depressed now around not being able to pay all their monthly bills. If you're one of those, I would highly recommend that you listen to this CD, and there will be at least 3 more coming YouTubes today on this very topic. We all have a selfish side and we all have an unselfish side. And this is a call out to every one of us to take some recognizance and some reflection and meditation on who we are and how we are in the world with ourselves and with other people. This is just a common human experience. I'm not talking about capitalism or class struggle or anything like that. That's just too abstract and conceptual. This is just simply being human. How are you as a human being with yourself and with your family and your friends and other people that you engage in and communicate with? This is what's important about soul and gold and true money. Money actually just means cosmic energy. You can call it dark energy if you're a physicist, or you can just call it the prana of the universe, as we do in yoga and meditation, or the chi, as we say in Chinese medicine, and the ki in Japan, and so on, and we say orenda in Mohawk. This is just simply energy. It's beauty, it's power, it's flow, it's the substance of our life. Our bodies are made of prana. All the atoms are made of prana in our physical bodies. Our minds are made of electrons and prana as our feelings and emotions. And when you can combine all this knowing in yourself to the knowing that money is simply a symbol, as Henry Ford has said, for the love in your heart and for the light and the shininess of your soul as you shower other people with light around you. This is what it means to be full of gold. This is what it means to be attractive. This is what it means to attract other kind of people in your life and abundance. This is a much deeper level of looking at the whole notion of abundance. This is not a surface thing. This is a deep internal, soulful, and superconscious thing. It does require looking at your shadow, meaning it does require looking at the inner selfishness and greediness and the thinking of wanting things only for yourself. It will require a blazing transformation of fiery alchemy like Mars and Vulcan to go through where you can come to the point where you can recognize that life and money and gold is for sharing with everybody. And the more you share with others, the more it'll come back to you. As you give, it shall be returned unto you manifoldly, much more than you give. This is a universal law, and many of the great spiritual teachers, like Jesus, Buddha, and Lao Tzu, have spoken of this, as you know. Well, that's enough for now, except to say that this lovely meditation CD, it's something that you do need to have. Don't drive your car with it. You need to sit and relax and meditate on this. This is available at my website, joseph-martin-living-in-2 TWO-worlds.com. Joseph Martin, living-in-2worlds.com. If you Google that, you'll be able to get it, and you can. It's on the website under the in the shop. If you're interested in this, it will give you all the necessity for the beginnings of what you need in order to understand how money and gold actually refer to soul and self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem, and valuing and learning to love yourself. It's a great process that we're all engaged on. Learning to love yourself, be happy inside yourself, have joy, and then share this with all that you see and you feel and you get to know here on planet Earth. It's a blessing. As the Dalai Lama has said, every one of us have had millions of lives, and each one of us has been the mother to everyone else we ever meet on planet Earth. So I want to say to all of you, you've been a great mother to me in my life. So thank you for being a great mother, and I honor and bless and respect the great mothering feminine energy that you give to everyone around you, and mostly to yourself and back to the source. All love and blessings, all honor.